The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.
The New York Nonprofit Press, the industry standard for nonprofits, is a must-read for over 20,000 New York City and state executives. Those who know the nonprofit world count on the NYNP to deliver breaking news and get messages across into the nonprofit industry. Ads can be placed in our paper, daily emails, or on our website. For more information, visit nynp.biz or email publisher at nynp.biz. The New York Nonprofit Press, serving people who serve people.
Good morning. This is Ron Gold from Marketing Works. The name of the show is The Nonprofit Voice, and today we have ACLD on. They've been on quite a few times because it's one of the fastest growing agencies on Long Island, and a lot has to do with the two people that are here now, even though it's not Rob Goldsmith, but Rob Ciatto, who is the COO, and Donna Celardo, who is the Director of Day and Community Support Services. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Morning.
Good morning. So let's talk about ACLD. I mean, ACLD for the last 5 to 6 years since I've been watching them has been growing like crazy. I saw the 2 new buildings that went up first on Oyster Bay Road, and I know it was done by Tritech and also Fusion, who are good friends of mine.
Yep. And
I see them at all your golf outings, JP. So, Rob, tell me about how it got started, ACLD.
ACLD's been in existence for over 60 years. It started, like most agencies have started, with a group of concerned parents. They had children with developmental disabilities and little resources at that time. In fact, the first couple board meetings and parent meetings happened in one of our family members' basements, and that's how ACLD started to originate. There was a need for group homes and for services for their children, and that's how it started, and we are still here today.
How long ago was that?
It's about 60 years ago.
60 years ago. Okay. When did you get started? But you didn't get started here. You got started at another agency. Was that the first job you had in this field?
Yes. Right out of college, I worked for Nassau AHRC, and I was there for about 21 years.
Wow.
And I've been here now at ACLD for the past 5.
And you started doing what?
I started as a direct support professional with a degree in psychology. I then quickly went into the psychology department, and I was a behavior specialist for many years. Went back to school, got my master's, and then started to work with all programs, residential, day, family support. Then I moved over to the administrative wing and started overseeing human resources and finance and maintenance, etc.
Why do people stay in this field? You know, when I hear about employees that have been there 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, nobody leaves. It's not the pay. It's the love of... Donna, why don't you tell me about that? Donna's been at ACLD for, 23 years, you said?
23 years.
There you go. You're one of the people I'm talking about.
Yes, I am. Similar to Rob, I started as a direct care, entry-level position. As you said, the pay is definitely not what keeps you there. But you grow a love for what you do. You build great friendships with your team members. You see things progress and grow. You watch, agencies that start in a basement. And with all that growth, you actually afford the people that you're working for greater opportunity.
When you see that they start in the basement, as you brought up, I mean, it's the same thing with most agencies out there, that they were looking for a way to get their sons and daughters into some kind of stable environment, that because the schools weren't giving it to them, so they had to go outside and start these agencies. Some did well, others didn't. What is it about ACLD that made them grow into what it is now?
I think it's the commitment that the original families had with the organization. 85% of our board are blood-related people that get services from our organization. And with that passion behind the drive of the mission of the organization, it fuels why we are what we are today and what that commitment is to the people that we support. It starts with the commitment, but it also has to be follow-up and follow-through and going the extra mile and those countless nights of figuring out how you're going to get funded for services for a day program or for a residential site for people to live in, and then what clinical supports that you're going to need. And it's also working diligently with the state of New York and with the Office of People with Developmental Disabilities. That has a lot to do with it as well.
Well, when you started, you said that, it started in the basement. Was it going to be a children's center? I mean, was that the major focus, because you were children's with learning disabilities, right?
Yeah, well, at the time, the family members were children. But they knew that there was a long-term goal that once children started to grow up, what services are going to continue to be needed as they get older? What programs are outside of the school districts? What type of adult day programs can agencies develop? What kind of residential living can be established by organizations? So it was a whole continuum of service, though it may have started as children. You have to have the foresight of what's going to happen when they're not there anymore and who's going to be there to take care of their children.
Donna, when you started 23 years ago, who were you working with?
You mean senior leadership, or?
How did you start? What kind of a group were you in charge of at the time?
I was I had a degree in psychology. I started with out in the Hot Pog location. Many of the board members that we have today, children attended the day program. We had a lot of the staff that I worked with had family members who also had disabilities. So again, that commitment from the staff is also their passion to want to see what the future is going to hold for the people that we support. We had workshops back in the day. It was really trying to be innovative and creative in conjunction with OPWDD, at the time was OMRDD, and state funding, and just really trying to bridge the money, the service, the commitment, the drive, and keep pushing and advancing forward. And we have definitely come a long way.
Where were you located before? I mean, before you were on Oyster Bay Road, where was the location?
The original location was in Albertson.
Oh, okay.
And then it expanded to Bethpage, then Hot Pog.
That made a statement, those two buildings. When they put that up, wow. I mean, and now I hear from, when I saw Robert at the golf outing, he was talking about the growth, and it's just mind-boggling. What's going on?
Well, on our campus now on South Oyster Bay Road, we have our main administrative building. We also have our adult day building, which has about 150 people in 3 different programs. Those were the first original 2 buildings. Then we expanded into a 3rd building that is currently right now the Charles Evans Center, which is a clinic, a home health clinic for people. And then in the back of our grounds, we have a 9-bed residential program for people that have medical needs. And that was an initiative that ACLD took on to get people out of nursing homes that had disabilities. So we set up this 24-hour medical program, again, in a house setting. The latest thing that we're doing right now is we are building a 48-unit apartment complex through an affordable housing program that we did through tax credits with TD Bank.
Where is that going to be?
That is also on our Bethpage campus.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. The new Grumman.
Yes, and the beauty of the 48-unit apartment complex is that 12 of those units are going to be dedicated to people with developmental disabilities. So we currently have 47 apartments in our program now.
How many did you say, 12?
Yes, and that'll add an additional 12 single-bedroom units.
25%, really.
Yeah, it's about 20%.
Yeah, 20%. And the rest of those apartments? The
36 apartments will be people over the age of 62 years old.
Okay. Now, some of them could be parents of the people that are living there.
Yeah, as long as they meet the mean income requirements of the affordable housing, they could apply through the lottery system that the management company will be implementing sometime in November.
Wow. Now, there's a lot more going on with the expansion and everything. There's a new autism center.
Yes, we are. One of the things that we're most proud of is that we got approval from OPWDD to create a 30-person adult autism day program. What's nice about this program, it's going to be a 5,000 square foot ground up facility that we're going to be creating in conjunction with the landlord that is going to be leasing the building to us.
Bethpage?
It's going to be actually in Deer Park.
Oh, there you go. We're moving out.
Yeah. Yes. The program will, and Donna can attest to this more, and I've sent her all over the place to do a lot of research because, autism and people on the autism spectrum, it seems like people are diagnosed every day more and more and more, and the traditional day programs may not particularly meet their needs. So we wanted to create a program that specializes in those needs.
Adult autism, you're not hearing that part.
So we did a lot of research in reference to the media aspect and how adults with autism are interested in the media, interested in the culinary aspects, interested in the health and fitness aspects, and the meditation and the relaxation. So we have dedicated rooms at this location that specialize in those areas. In fact, you can maybe come over and do a little radio show from our new media center that we're going to develop.
We'd like that.
That would be great.
And what are you doing as far as day hub? You've got a new position, right? Or is that
my position?
Your position now?
I've actually been in this director position for 5 years, but I was prior to being the assistant director of residential, I was in day services for about 12 years prior. So for right now, we have the existing day programs. We have 2 large programs, 150-person programs. We have 4 community-based programs that have 30 people each in it. The Autism Program coming aboard. We have a program Without Walls that's expanding and growing. We're up to 90 people. And we're just looking to not only continue to expand the services, but meet the interests and the needs of the people that are looking for options for their day experience. And I also oversee vocational. So the thought is that we have a continuum. We have people who have great clinical and medical needs. We have programs that can provide that service. We have people that kind of just need a little bit of support throughout the day. We have people that don't really require a lot of support. And we have a continuum where people can kind of move through based on their needs and their interests. We can then take somebody who has learned and developed and attained skills to then offer them opportunities in the vocational arena, which is where we'd like to see as many people that we could possibly assist in getting some sort of meaningful employment.
So are the services that you're providing as far as your day hub or for people, are they on the campus or are they coming in from other agencies and living in other places? We
provide day services to people that live with us, that live home with their parents or other family members, as well as other organizations throughout Nassau and Suffolk County.
Because you talked about now you're up to like 50 homes, so you're servicing those homes too.
We're servicing, in many cases, those homes, as well as all the other agencies, the sister agencies on Long Island. We have many people that come to us for day services that live with other agencies, live home with family members, some people that live on their own. So, and we have expanded in day services quite a bit.
Now, the location that has the day services are one of the new buildings, right, that you have there? Is that where you're doing the day hub? The day hub that's on that campus is our original the original day habilitation center that ACLD had. Okay. There's 150 people in that program. We have a senior, what we call our Golden Ops program, and then we have an autism program called Connections in that building, as well as a 90-person program that's a group that does a lot of community integration, volunteering in the community, offering their services while building skills to other not-for-profit organizations like Island Harvest and Meals on Wheels and Senior Shopping. We work with a lot of the veterans. So they're building skills, again, to eventually And this
seek
is all
employment.
under your wings, right?
Yes.
Amazing. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, it's great. It's
Sounds like
very
a
rewarding.
lot.
It's a lot of work, but it's when you see what the result is, it's fantastic.
Well, I want to go back to Rob, but I want to ask one more question about the employment. The employment opportunities, you have somebody that goes out to the Home Depots and the Stop at Shops and tries to get them employed in there?
Yes, I have a job developer. I have an assistant director, an administrator, about 21 job coaches that assist people who are employed throughout Nassau and Suffolk County. We're in the Home Depots, the Stop and Shops, we're in law offices, we're in actually another radio station.
That's all right. Doesn't matter. It's okay.
We're really breaking out of the traditional supermarket bagger, and trying to really give people an opportunity to seek stocking shelves. Yes, we have people doing some really cool stuff. We have on our website Working Wednesday, where we honor somebody who we help support in employment. We honor them on our Facebook page, talk a little bit about what they're doing. Many of our people are many years, like me, 20 plus, 25 plus years at their current employment. So they
love their job.
Love their job.
Unbelievable.
Best employees you can have.
Absolutely.
Dedicated.
Can't wait to get
show
there.
up.
Yep.
Can't wait to get there. We employ people at ACLD, and they're some of the hardest workers out there. So.
What about the growth? Keep going with that. I keep interrupting you because I want to get Donna in.
It's quite all right. So over the last 5 years, we have, as Donna said, almost doubled our day program. But in our residential program, we grew from 29 homes. We just purchased our 51st home. And that growth is due to numerous opportunities through OPWDD. We are providing some homes for aging out individuals that have been sent out of state when they were younger into residential schools, but now have aged out of those schools, and the governor wants to bring those children back to New York. So they've aged out of those schools. We have 2 allocations of 2 6-bed houses for those people. We also took over a lot of the state-run, what you call intermediate care facilities. Those state-run intermediate care facilities were located in Melville Commons and Rainbow Commons. And those 12-bed homes become 2 6-bed homes in the community, which is why over the last 4.5 years, ACLD has purchased 18 homes, all Rand-style houses, to make sure that the people that are going to be moving into those homes can live there forever.
That's amazing. It really is. So in looking at the growth, and you told me that the agency is now up to 85 to 88 million, and when you got there it was about 60 million, right? I mean, it's amazing how some of the agencies can't keep up, and other agencies like yours, it just brings in more people. How many people work there?
We have over 1,300 staff now. And over the last 5 years, we've added close to about 400 staff, 400 positions. But I think it's, staying true to what the mission of the organization is. It's staying true to what the vision is. With growth comes a wealth of opportunities for employees. Opportunities for employees to advance their career aspirations, to make more money. And opportunities for people to experience different things that may not have been here 15, 20 years ago. So it's a combination of the vision, staying true to the mission, and more importantly, the need is there. Mm-hmm. And there's still such a significant need just on Long Island alone of people that are living with their parents, and their parents may not have planned the best back in the day, and now they become crisis situations. Elderly parents, unfortunately, get sick. They may move on. They may not have siblings, or even if they do have siblings, they may not be able to, take care of their siblings, which is why they turn to organizations like ourselves. There's limited growth in reference to what's being allocated from the state, so we have taken advantage of an opportunity that was presented. And there was other agencies as well that got some of those ICF homes from the state. We got 8 of them. Most of the other agencies got 2 or 3. But we looked at that as being able to provide opportunities for people on that long wait list that still exists now.
It's amazing. I think that, one of the things that we talked about was when Robert came over there 5 years ago, it just seemed like he had handpicked people because the agency was a tired agency at that time. It was time for a change, and it needed new enthusiasm. It just wasn't there at the time. But now, I just look at the people that he's put into place there. It's like he's planned for the future. It's great.
You always have to have a strategic plan, especially in our field. And I think at the time, ACLD always had a very good reputation to provide services, but the landscape of what we do has changed. And the funding has significantly changed in reference to the cuts that have come on with the rates.
We're going to take a break, and we're going to be back in about a couple of minutes. Thank you so much.
The New York Nonprofit Press, the industry standard for nonprofits, is a must-read for over 20,000 New York City and state executives. Those who know the nonprofit world count on the NYNP to deliver breaking news and get messages across into the nonprofit industry. Ads can be placed in our paper, daily emails, or on our website. For more information, visit nynp.biz or email publisher at nynp.biz. The New York Nonprofit Press, serving people who serve people.
Good morning. This is Ron Gold from Marketing Works. The name of the show is The Nonprofit Voice. If anybody wants to be on for their agency, email me at ron@marketingworkspr.com. I'm here with ACLD, one of the fastest growing agencies on Long Island. And Rob and Donna, welcome back to our second half hour.
Hiya.
Keep smiling. I know it's early in the morning, but we'll get through it. So let's keep talking about your growth. I mean, I'm all excited about this, that your agency is now probably one of the top 3 or 4 on Long Island, right? I mean, as far as revenue and...
Yeah, we're definitely in the top 10. We're getting there. And we're motivated by the growth, but we're more motivated by the fact that we're providing services for people. And you can grow very, very quickly, but you still need to stay focused on the prize at hand, and that is to provide quality services for the young men and women that need it.
But you're not taking over any other agencies so far, right? That's not the way you're growing.
This has all been self-growth on our aspect, taking advantage of certain opportunities. We become an agency that has proven to the state that we can handle rapid growth, and with that comes other opportunities.
When I look at your upcoming events that you have, and the development department is run by Amy Keegan, and Amy and I are really close, and I really like the job she's done there. I mean, everything seems to be so coordinated, and so I go to the golf outing every year, and this year one of my friends, Jim Skinner, was honored. So he's somebody that we work with all the time, so how could I say no, I'm not coming? I had to be there, and he talks highly of you. So but you have a couple of other events that are coming up now. What's coming up?
All right. On September 15th, we have our ACLD walk. It's at the Bethpage Park in Bethpage. And that's a nice little opportunity for us to raise some money, to also do some physical activity. We have a lot of our people that live in our homes and that come to our day programs, as well as their families, board members, and staff all get together and participate in this walk. So it's a really fun event for people really to get together and to commingle within one area. We also have our Enviable Life Ball coming up, and that is October 3rd, and that is at the Garden City Hotel. That is our number one fundraiser that we do, and it's a great event. Black tie is optional, but it's a really nice way to see our vendors and the people that support ACLD. And this year's honoree is Carl Grady of Enterprise, and Tom DiNapoli as well.
Tom DiNapoli. So this is going to be something, this Enviable Ball. I thought that at some point you were going to honor Robert Goldsmith, but I guess not yet, huh? Someday.
He gets honored every day.
Yeah, he does.
Believe me.
So let's go back a little bit to your development department. How big is that?
It's funny, about 5 years ago when I started, we had a development department of about 3 people. With our rapid growth and the other activities that we have brought into the fundraising aspect, we have about 6 staff now. Like you said, head by Amy Keegan, and she's done a fantastic job. We've gone from having 2 to 3 events to having 5 to 6 events now. In addition to that, we've created the ACLD Foundation. And the ACLD Foundation was created. It's a separate board that reports to our board, the main board of ACLD, but it is a separate board. And the goal of that board is to strictly fundraise money for ACLD.
How important is this fundraising money to you, not you personally, to your growth at ACLD?
Well, it's significant. With Medicaid and the continued cuts, over 90% of our revenue is generated through Medicaid. And there's been no secret that there's continued cuts in Medicaid. With the governor's initiative to go to managed care, it really kind of changes the landscape of how agencies like ourselves do business, as well as how agencies are funded. So, but at ACLD, we've been able to manage the cuts with Medicaid with our continued growth. So one of the things we're most proud of is the money that we have raised over the past 2 years in the foundation has not gone to anything that we needed at ACLD. So it is still there, making more money for the organization.
That's great.
However, you don't know what's going to happen in the future. So to have a foundation and to fundraise, and we have restricted donations and things like that are part of it from other entities and families. So it is important.
When you say that you've gone from 3 to 5 to 6 events, a lot of the agencies feel that if they do that many events, how many times can your vendors get called upon?
Well, one of the nice things that we did in creating some of these events is we've targeted different audiences. So, for example, last year we held our first Texas Hold'em poker event at the Carlisle. And the audience was a totally different audience than the normal audience that we target for example, our golf outing or our Enviable Life Ball. We were selected by the Long Island Elite as a charity recipient, and through the networking that Amy has done and the agency has done, it opened up us to a different world of different people, not those same vendors like a Jim Skinner or like a Georgette's from Performance or a Michael Chrissy from L&M Painting. It let us go into different areas. Our bowling events that we
I'll take credit for that. Sorry.
Really have had a lot to do with more family-orientated things. Most of the lanes that we sell out very quickly are purchased by family members. They are purchased by our own individuals that are interested in hanging out and bowling with staff. So,
and not everybody can afford not the big events like the ball, whereas the bowling, it could be $500 for a lane or $1,000 for a couple of lanes. I mean, that's when the smaller vendor could at least feel like they're participating.
Yeah, so I mean, you made a great point. You don't want to continue to go to the same vendors because these vendors also work for other organizations such as ourselves.
I know.
So, Fusion goes to about 15 golf outings a year and things like that. But so we structured these smaller events and these different events to specifically target different audiences, and with the goal of also bringing those audiences into the bigger realm, like our Enviable Life Ball.
Well, you look at this and, Enterprise is being honored, which is great because they do so much for so many agencies. And that brings me to the other topic of transportation. When you said you developed at AHRC a transportation program to save money, does this have anything to do with Enterprise, or that's separate from this?
Well, Enterprise was, when I was at AHRC now, so Enterprise was our fleet management vendor. When I started here at ACLD, we actually had 4 different vendors that provided vehicles for us, even though we had an outside bus company doing transportation. Enterprise was one of those vendors. So one of the first things we decided to do was clean up our vehicle fleet to make sure that we had the best possible product out there, the safest product out there. And then the next step was to go to one vendor in an RFP. Enterprise was the one that won that RFP. So Enterprise right now is our sole vendor. We have over 250 vehicles in our fleet. And the best part about our vehicles is they were handpicked by the people that we support. They were able to come test drive vehicles with myself personally and choose the layout of the vehicles, choose the type of vehicles that we have that we can work within the lease structure and the revenue structure of the organization.
Well, let's talk to you, Donna, because you are just sitting here. I want to talk about your art studio programs and also the different programs that you have for seniors.
So we have a senior program for our older folks that's located in our Bethpage day program. We structure the day with activities more in line with their interests and their capabilities. Most of the people in there would probably like to be retired, but sitting home doing nothing is really not a good option for them, so we want to keep them active. We have them participating in some mild forms of yoga and meditation, art therapy, music therapy. We instituted a music and a memory program that has really had such great success. It's assisted us with people who have early signs of dementia or Alzheimer's. It's been able to tap in and kind of awaken the part of the brain that helps us, with memories of childhood or jingles or things. Music is a great venue for that. Then we have an autism program. We do a lot of sensory programming to assist them with managing some of their behavioral components.
Well, these autism programs, are these people that have been in the program that are now adults now?
Yes, these people have been in our program since they graduated out of the school system from age of 21. Some of them, anywhere between 30 to 55 years old. They've been with us for quite a while.
And they were diagnosed with autism at
Diagnosed
the time?
with autism as children. I mean, we're seeing that first wave of adults. As Rob had mentioned, 60 years ago, you had kids. You had a lot more diagnoses happening over the years. So just being as creative and as innovative as providers, as service providers, in what's next, what else, how can we keep expanding, learning more, traveling to other locations, meeting other people, going to seminars, what's out there, what's next. That's how you stay progressive. That's how you continue to grow. You want to be that pioneer, that company, that agency that offers the next level, the staying savvy with technology, all the newcomers that are graduating. For somebody like me, you got to stay on that cutting edge. These kids are using iPads and media like never before. There's all various different types of augmentative communication out there. So kids are learning differently. It's a new generation of people, and you really have to stay on that cutting edge so that you're providing services to the people that you've been providing services to all these years, and then all the newcomers. So we're really trying to stay progressive and offer all of these different types of options, having for our older folks, for our people on the spectrum, for people who want to volunteer and build work skills, and then also for our guys that are a little more independent and want to have more choice-driven type programming.
Is this tied in with the art studio?
Yes, the art studio is something we just recently launched. What we just had decided to do is we see there's a lot of interest in art. So we sought out staff members that do this or have an educational background, that passion, that they're going to bring this to the people that we support. So we just developed, we have 3 staff. It really has been a fantastic launch. we have them mobile now where they're traveling throughout Long Island and going to all of my day programs and offering like art classes. We loaded them up with all different types of supplies. And since they are, this is not only their passion, but they have education in the background, they know exactly how to implement various types of mediums of art and explore a whole host of stuff, including photography, and it's been really a great experience. We're only about a month into it, but so far we've seen great success.
Well, how are you going to handle continued growth like this? I mean, it just seems like it's really expanding so fast. I mean, how much more can you do?
A lot more.
A lot more.
You have to.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in need. I mean, Suffolk County has. We have a wait list for our day program because there's a great need for it. And one of the advantages we have, as Rob mentioned, is being successful at the growth we've had thus far, partnering with OPWDD to help us grow other programs, because there are people who are waiting and aren't receiving services, and you can only provide in a building to so many people, so you have to continue to grow.
You know, it's funny because that was a good answer. I remember when one of my vice presidents said to me, "I think we should hold off. We have too many accounts." I said, "What? What kind of an answer is that?"
Yeah.
That's not a good answer. A good answer is, I've been on both ends where I was dying to get accounts, and then I'd rather keep it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's how you're answering it, which is great.
And Bob and Rob, since they came.
Bob and Rob.
Bob and Rob, yes.
Bob and
that's how
Rob.
we differentiate
Are you on
them.
the radio?
Since they came to ACLD, you got to be creative. You have to step out of that box and be creative. And Bob is very innovative. He likes to push. If you have an idea, he likes to enlist people to come up with what's next. So under their leadership over the last 5 years, we've been able to see all of this expansion. It's a lot of hard work, but when you see the end result, it's worth it. And it's out there. There are people that need it.
Tell me what's coming up with DSP Week.
DSP Week is September 9th through the 16th. We have, over the last few years, been able to really celebrate that week. We have some great raffle prizes, TVs and AirPods, Kindles, Fitbits. We raffle off. We put all of our DSP's names into a big barrel, and we pull names each day. We give away gift cards for the 5 days. Everybody loves it. It's. I remember the first year that we did it, everybody was so excited. And we've been able to do that, and it's one thing that Rob and Bob have been committed to, ensuring that we have a holiday party each year, that we continue with DSP Week, and that we really celebrate the frontline staff.
It's amazing. You were telling me about something with the meds that you had put together. Was that some IT program?
Oh, Metasket.
Yeah.
Yeah, Metasket is a billing software. So the way we provide our services based on our regulations for our programs is billed to Medicaid. So the Metasket program is a paperless, computerized software that we're able to set in place to have real-time data, real-time information, be able to audit all of the programs that provide those services to make sure that we're meeting all of the requirements and making sure we're meeting all the needs of the people we support. So give me a phone number and a website before we forget, because we're talking to ACLD. Our main line at Bethpage is area code 516-822-0028, and we can be we're also located on www.acld.org. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, and everything else that Amy has. There you go. That's some development person you have there. And what about Donna? How can we reach Donna?
My number is 516-336-5909. My extension is 272. I'm on the Bethpage Campus. Or you could email me at celardod@acld.org.
Let's talk about the events coming up before we get off. What's coming up in September? I know we just touched on this, but it's very important.
Yes, we have our a walk September at Bethpage Park, September 15th. Very exciting day. We get over 150 to 200 people that come. What's nice about
teams?
What's nice about the walk is that some of our homes develop their own teams. They come in even with their own T-shirts and things like that. We have families that come in and develop their own teams. What is nice about it as well is that usually when you're doing what we do, you're always meeting the mom and the dad. You don't always meet the sister or the brother. The walk is a nice event where the entire family comes to support their relative. So when we are there, you're not only meeting mom and dad, you're meeting mom, dad, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, whoever comes, because it's a nice leisurely day. It's a nice event. And we do, we do fundraise a little bit for it, but it shows a lot of unity for the organization.
So that's not a big money maker for you?
Not really. But what it does is it shows unity for the organization.
And we have the ball coming up, right?
Yes.
October 3rd. And where is it?
The Enviable Life Ball is at the Garden City Hotel. It's our biggest event. It's one of the nicest events that I've been a part of, and I've been in the field for 26 years.
Yeah, if I want to get in tickets, who do I call?
So you would reach out to Amy Keegan. You could call the Bethpage number, I said, 516-822-0028. You can ask for Amy Keegan herself or anybody in the development department, and they'd be able to assist you in getting tickets, doing sponsorships, etc.
Well, I want to thank both of you. This hour has gone by so fast, and that's because I enjoy having both of you in the company, and I love ACLD. I think you guys do a great job. Rob and Donna, thank you for being on. This is Ron Gold from Marketing Works. The name of the show is The Nonprofit Voice. If you'd like to be a guest, email me at ron@marketingworkspr.com.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.